What's up?
Hi, it went live so fast. I'm so glad I didn't just like check my teeth. Do I have anything in my teeth? Hi. No, I'm just joking. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing amazing. It's not Valentine's Day, but it's very close. And you know what Valentine's Day means?
I gotta make plans. Oh my god.
Wow.
I gotta make
Okay.
plans.
Okay. All right. Wow. You got to really get going. No pressure there.
And rom-com,
But
of course.
exactly. Well, it's February. That means romance. That means rom-coms. And that means it's your favorite time of year. Especially that's like your favorite slice or one of them.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay,
right?
yeah. You know, it's funny. I was actually talking to my manager plus the other day. It's a whole thing. It's a whole story with the usual suspects, but I can't talk about it because we're the
Yes.
usual suspects. But they were talking to me about maybe putting rom-coms as a slice on the wheel. And you know what? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe I would do it. I will tell you, I'm very excited to be participating in a trivia match where I know all of the answers.
Yes, there's a lot of questions going into this match. Very focused on romance, of the comedy, of the actors and the directors, of all these. There's so many subgenres of rom-coms that I didn't realize until putting together a lot of these questions. So I'm excited to see these competitors really dive into it and get bloody when it comes to answering all this amazing trivia knowledge.
I'm going to be using this to study myself because you're totally right. I'm going to spoil one of the categories in round 2, since you already told the competitors. Set in New York is one that you have on the wheel, which I think is so cool and unique. And you were telling me you went back and you watched like 40 rom-coms to like prep for this, and it really shows. These questions are amazing. Like I truly am blown away. I was not joking. I was not trying to make you feel good, Commander-in-Chief. I was just saying that these are very good questions.
Well, it was definitely this match in particular has been definitely a work in progress for so long, and the auditions to get these competitors has definitely been happening for a while now. So let's just jump to it. Let's jump to these competitors today. One of our first competitors has been involved in the fan leagues for a very long time. He's fantastic. He's a good friend of mine. I love seeing him at live events and everything. So let's just go ahead and invite him on in. Mr. Douglas Cassel. Cassel?
Cassel. Yeah. It happens. People are like, Cassel. I'm like, I don't care. Whatever you want to call me. I'm pretty easygoing.
Well, maybe it makes it sound cooler. Yeah. Are you excited going into this match today?
Yeah, but I'm not trying to make it like a bloody massacre, guys. I'm just trying to have some fun. I'm trying to have some fun with some competitors.
What is this crap? Is this like baby face? Is this like a baby face thing, or is this really you? Because
listen, this is really me.
Do you want to win?
I do want to win, but at the same time, I just think it's let's listen. The same way I said I love a wild-berry guy is because you had fun in that match. I want to have fun and still answer questions right.
I'm just hearing some loser behavior, Drew. What do you think?
You know what? You're the host of the show, so you can say whatever you want. I'm going to try to stay neutral and just say, if I were a fan, I know who I may not be rooting for, but I'm not a fan today. I'm a judge, so I am non-biased. I will ask you the questions just as fairly as the other competitors, Doug, Cassel, and I'm just joking. I won't do that to you. I won't do that. Honestly, good luck, man. I think that's a great attitude to come into it because there's like very little pressure. Which I know pressure can do really bad things to competitors, any competitor out there. You're still just sitting in your, at the comfort of your home, which is going to always give you an advantage over being on a live stage. But, if you come into it no pressure, that's good, man. That's good. So see what you can do.
Yeah, for sure. It's when you don't put as much pressure on yourself, your mind is definitely open up to a lot of new ways. Absolutely. Now, going into one of our other competitors, also really huge in the fan leagues, and he's kind of fresh to Schmodown in general. We're welcoming Brian. What's up, Brian Michaels?
Hello, happy to be here.
What's up? You've never been in an exhibition match with us, have you?
I have never. This is my first experience with you guys.
Oh my gosh!
I thought that was Dan Murrell. I'm gonna do it. I seriously, every time I think it's Dan Murrell, and I think
I'm just invoking the spirit of Dan Murrell to try and crush my opponents.
He actually just cosplay in order to like really freak Drew out a little bit.
Yeah, I was shook. I'm shook. I'm still shook. But how's it going, man? How you feeling? You feeling good? You feeling ready to go?
I am. Like Doug said, it's like I really like these kind of matches where it's no pressure. It's an exhibition match. Don't have to worry about records and titles and that kind of thing. I love romantic comedies. I don't consider myself an expert, but I guess my general knowledge was enough to get me this far. So I'm going to see if I can beat these two.
Well, you do have some romantic comedies posters on your wall.
I do. I have so many posters. I have to rotate them with the match, you know.
Gotta keep it interesting. I respect that.
And if I'm not mistaken, you also scored the most points in the audition. Is that correct?
Well, I wasn't going to say it, but apparently.
That's our job.
No big deal.
So, for someone that doesn't really like romantic comedies, or you don't consider, well, let me rephrase myself. For someone that doesn't consider themselves a rom-com expert, how do you feel walking away as the top dog from the audition for this?
Well, you know, I think it's gonna come down to a lot of what kind of questions we get, because I do really good when it comes to the questions like the cast and the crew and the release dates, things like that. Well, generally speaking, I'm sure now that I've said that, I'll miss them all. But depending on, you know, how deep cut they get, and if they get into the right ones that I know better than others, we'll see if the scores work out the same way this time.
Well, I hope you have your fingers crossed, but no pressure in front of the man himself. That's for sure. And last but not least, our only female competitor in this match today, and also our first female competitor in any of our exhibition matches, which I didn't realize until I went back and watched them, and I was like, oh my gosh, what? Peggy.
There's no pressure with that label being thrust upon me, is there?
No, we've talked about, like Brian's mentioned, he's not a huge rom-com person, but he kind of watches them casually like anyone does. However, you consider yourself the rom-com queen. I saw your wall of nothing but rom-com DVDs, literally pasted on the wall.
Mm-hmm. Look, unfortunately, I'm not there tonight, but yeah, it's majority rom-coms. It happens to be my favorite genre of movie. With that being said, I've played against these two in the families before. They know their stuff. It's not going to be any. I'm going to put up a good fight. So are they. It'll be a good time. Let's roll.
All right.
Oh yes,
I dig it.
All right,
I like
that's
it.
it. That's who I want. That's my. I'm a judge. I'm staying non-biased. But we got someone who's dressed like Dan Murrell. We got someone who's okay with anyone winning, and then we got someone who's got rom-coms on their wall. So all right, I know.
Literally the DVD.
Facebook page, yeah.
It's good though that she's not there, because we might have to ask her to move to a different room. That would be an unfair advantage.
For sure. All right, well, thank you guys so much for coming on, and if you're watching this, we really appreciate you guys for hanging out with us today. This has definitely been a work in progress for quite some time. Now, we're going to give you just a quick format of what to expect going into this. Just like any Schmoedown match or a fan league match, there are going to be 3 rounds. For the first round, there's going to be 8 questions, 1 point apiece. For question number 2, there are going to be 4 questions, depending on what we'll slice, and at 2 points apiece. And last but not least, for the third and final round, I do actually have a few Iron Man questions, just in case. Just in case, and if needed. And it's 2, 3, and 5 point questions. So, y'all ready?
Let's do it.
You guys got 3 JTEs on the thing? That's right. I just put up 4. 3 JTEs on the
3 JTEs.
I like Andrew's line better.
I hope she's not keeping score.
All right. And please keep those hands on the board. But you guys have 15 seconds to answer. Now, Drew, I believe you said that you want to go with odds and I can go with evens for the first round, right?
Yeah, I'm totally into it. We're ready? All
right, let's go.
All right. So the category in round 1 is, or for this question 1. Wow. All right, here we go. Drew. Is Audrey Hepburn. In Roman Holiday, who plays Joe Bradley, an expat reporter from the U.S. on an assignment to write about Princess Anne?
What's your favorite Audrey Hepburn movie, Drew?
You know what? It's really hard to say just because you love her and everything, but I might just go classic, with Roman Holiday.
2, 1, and pens down, please. We'll start with you, Peggy.
I've been a while, I guess Humphrey Bogart.
And on to Brian.
Gregory Peck.
And Doug.
I went Cary Grant.
3 different answers. And what was the correct answer, Drew?
The correct answer was Gregory Peck.
For 1 point. Well
big
done,
point
Brian.
there to Brian.
I froze.
Okay. For question number 2, the category for 1 point is movie release dates. Release dates. The question is, Romancing the Stone and Splash were both released in what year?
Thanks, Alex. Anybody that watches the Fan Leagues knows. So.
I don't watch the Fan Leagues all that much. I'm not gonna lie. Outside of like my factions matches, I don't watch it all that much.
She's busy writing these questions, okay?
There's a lot of work. I'm watching those rom-coms. And 5, 4, you guys already answered. You're good. Okay. Starting with you, Brian.
1984.
Doug.
1984.
Peggy.
1984.
Wow.
And Peggy. Correct across the board. Well done.
Alex. Non-biased. We're totally
course
non-biased here.
It's
And
panel
the
fail.
action. All right, so we're doing well here, guys. That was great. Movie release date 1984. I'll be honest, I would not have known that answer. I guessed like 86 when I was reading through this. So go me. I just showed that I'm bad. All right. Question number 3. Category is 90s. 2 political speechwriters fall in love before they realize they are working for opposing political candidates. Is the plot to what 1994 rom-com? Sorry if I yelled in your ear.
Can you imagine if Aaron Sorkin wrote a rom-com?
Yeah, do you think it would be good or would it be annoying?
It would probably a little bit annoying, but I would still like him either way, like in most Aaron Sorkin movies.
You'd be like, these are the sexiest and smartest people I've ever seen in my life.
Yet they're really weird at the same time. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and Douglas.
I blanked.
And Peggy.
I guess the movie with Kristen Dunst's dick. I think that was
Michelle
She
Williams.
was talking to me, so.
And Brian?
Speechless.
Oh, Ryan pulling ahead here.
He's good.
That is correct.
He's good.
Speechless is the. I don't know that movie.
Michael Keaton.
It has Gina Davis and Michael Keaton, Batman himself.
That sounds just lovely.
Have fun with that one. Okay, moving on to question number 4 for 1 point. And we're at this point, we'll be almost done with our first round questions. And the category is musicals. Musicals. I Put My Hand In, It Takes a Woman. Excuse me. It Takes a Woman, Motherhood March, and Ribbons Down My Back are songs from what rom-com musical? Do you like musicals, Drew?
I do. I go hot and cold with them, honestly. But you know, I was a theater kid my whole life, so I always respected musicals. I always loved musicals. I watched
I get
a
a
lot of
repeat?
them.
Absolutely. Okay, in the category of musicals, I Put My Hand In, It Takes a Woman, Motherhood March, and Ribbons Down My Back are songs from what rom-com musical?
What's your favorite musical, Alex?
I'm not gonna lie, Seven Brides with Seven Brothers is a favorite.
Oh, okay.
I'd enjoy that one. Sexist, sure, but still fun, yes. Love it. All right, moving on. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and Peggy.
I guess My Fair Lady.
My Fair Lady, okay. And Brian?
Just a guess, I'm not sure. Meet me in St. Louis.
Where I am. And Douglas.
Nothing. I don't get it.
Does no one know musicals and Hello Dolly?
That's a tough one.
Oh, it's been a while since I've seen that one.
Arguably Bab's most famous movie of all time. It's Bab. And not the one with Seth Rogen where they go on like a road trip.
Field trip.
Oh, yeah.
Or joke or whatever. Okay, whatever. I'm funny, guys.
Yep.
Funny.
Yep. Hello, Dolly. We love it. Okay, here we go. Recent releases is question number 5. In Longshot, who plays President Chambers, a TV actor turned American president that decides not to seek re-election? I really like this movie. I just watched it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I just saw it the other day. It's delightful. I mean, Charlize Theron. I was like, damn, girl, you get it.
I know. She's just wonderful. I've been in love with her for, I think, basically just my whole life, it feels like.
Yeah. I would become, first woman for her. That's for sure. I mean, who wouldn't?
I would too.
5, that's true. 3, 2, 1, and hands down. Oh, oopsie. Sorry. And Brian.
Bob Odenkirk.
Douglas.
Bob Odenkirk.
And Peggy.
I can only write Saul. I couldn't tell the name.
Failure.
Well, you're all right, but unfortunately, we can only reward points to Douglas
Yeah.
and Brian. But you took my line. I was going to say Saul.
Mhm.
Better call him.
It's just Chicago too.
Chicago.
Chicago. Chicago.
All right.
Okay. And question number 6. Well, so we're almost done with round 1. Okay, the categories is Sandra Bullock movies. Sorry, it's just Sandra Bullock in general. Okay, what is the subtitle of 2005's Miss Congeniality 2, starring Sandra Bullock and Regina King?
I'm a big fan of Miss Congeniality.
That movie's wonderful.
I
We've not covered it, by the way, but
I know. Someone wrote us
like action rom-coms.
We need to, and this should be one of them because I know that Ben and I both enjoy this movie, and it follows all of our rules, which
Every single one.
It does. Are you the one that wrote that thing? I think it was you.
Maybe. I don't know, Drew. Maybe 5, 4.
Repeat.
Okay.
Oh, this is my turn. Okay, here we go. In the category of Sandra, no, yep.
Oh, is it,
No, it's yours. I got so excited.
I don't blame you. I'm pretty excited going into these as well.
Now.
Sandra Bullock movies for 1 point. What is the subtitle of 2005's Miss Congeniality 2, starring Sandra Bullock and Regina King? Both leading ladies have received Oscars, I believe. Or has Regina King not won an Oscar? I can't remember. Maybe I'm confusing her with someone else.
I don't think she has.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of a Golden Globe.
That sounds correct. She's
Tomato,
great.
tomato.
I'm a big fan.
Right? And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And starting with you, Doug.
Armed and Fabulous.
Fabulous. Peggy.
Armed and Fabulous.
Okay.
Always
all right.
fabulous. And Brian.
I blanked, but I'm sure it's Electric Boogaloo.
That is the best answer.
I validate that.
All day.
What if Brian was actually right? Like, what if that just happened?
That should have been, honestly. Now that I think about it. Can you imagine like the plot that would go along with that title? Like
It'd
just
be amazing.
pick a title and create a plot to go around with it. Those like ridiculous, obscene plots.
All right. Question number 7 from the category of Rob Reiner. Rob Reiner. Which Rob Reiner movie has the following tagline? Is it love? Or are they just imagining things? Question mark. I added the question mark in.
I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to Rob Reiner movies, I can only name like a handful of them, but I can name like a ton of movies he starred in. Like as far as like directing, I'm like,
Yeah.
Princess Bride.
I'm medium on Rob Reiner. I definitely love some of his classics, but for the most part, I just I'd say he's like I'd say 30% of his movies I love or like.
And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and Peggy.
I'm guessing since you said it, it's wrong. Princess Bride.
Yep.
Sorry, I probably didn't know that either. And Brian?
I didn't know, so I guessed one. Sleepless in Seattle.
And Doug.
I don't remember if he did this movie or not, but When Harry Met Sally.
Close. They were all close, I guess. There were names. There were names of people in them. The correct answer is Alex and Emma.
Oh, I forgot it existed.
Phenomenal film.
They had David Wilson and Kate Hudson. Just saying.
she's
They
an
both
all
play,
over.
they both play novelists that are about to be moved out of their apartment. So.
Sounds
It's a
magical.
horrible movie for you. So, all right. And the last question for round 1, the category is Love Abroad! ! And the question is, in Wimbledon, what Marvel actor plays Peter Colt, a tennis pro that has lost his ambition before meeting a young American tennis pro that helps recapture his focus for the game?
It always feels good as a competitor when you have those moments. Everyone kind of shot to their their keyboard, but their board and their pens went right away. So it feels like people are feeling pretty strong about that. So it's nice to have that as a confidence boost.
Mhm.
I saw this movie probably when I was like when it came out, like when it came out on video with like
Yeah.
my sister.
I remember seeing this movie when I was like maybe early grade school. No, sorry, not grade school, early middle school. I remember seeing it with like my mom or a babysitter or something, and I just thoroughly enjoyed it.
I am so old. Okay.
We're all judging you, Brian.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and Brian.
Paul Bettany.
And Douglas.
Paul Bettany.
And Peggy.
Happy's in it too, but it's Paul Bettany.
Vision
There it is.
himself.
Oh, Happy is. I like that. That's good. There you go.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and catch up a little bit on the scoreboard real quickly. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so starting off, we could tell, looking at it, Brian has 5 out of the 8 points. Douglas has 4 out of the 8, and Peggy is falling behind barely by 1 point at 3 out of the 8. So how are you feeling, Guy, about these 3 competitors so far?
Honestly, Brian showed a lot of strength in exactly what he was talking about, but the game is still really, really close. We're going in round 2. Anything can happen in round 2. Anyone can spin something that's a strength of theirs or weakness, and then the game can change immediately. So I feel really good. I feel really good about everyone. I think they all got a nice Paul Bettany answer there to move into round 2 confidently, which could change the game.
Absolutely. And not to mention, we also had several JTEs being used as well. Douglas actually used 2 for round 1. So, definitely a risky move, but you got to do what you got to do in order to get those points, right?
Yeah. I mean, in round 1, it's if you have to use 2, I think I've actually done it before. If you get one of the answers right, it feels good. It's nice to know that you use the JTE right, and it helps you build that confidence moving through the match. So I feel like I think he got away with one of them, maybe not, but 2.
I couldn't pull the hello, dolly.
Yeah. All right. So
especially on the tip of the tongue, it's just like, right there. If I just
that becomes pretty frustrating, right? So now you're down 2 JTEs moving through the rest of the game, but we'll see if it comes back to make him pay for it.
All right. Well, we are going to be moving on to the second round. And so the second round is pretty wonderful. We actually have a whole bunch of slices. And I'm going to go ahead and see if I can pull it up right now. So excuse me. I'm going to put it up right here.
Alex, I think I actually have to go. Something really important came up, this digital wheel situation. I feel like if you want to bring both of us on the screen at the same time, it's just not really respectful to me and my family and my dog. So
I can understand it's a very emotional time to really confront the digital wheel, but that's something we're going to learn to get together, considering you have more live events ahead of you in the future. So
This is true. All right. I'm over it. I appreciate you. I appreciate being here.
All right. Well, just gonna mentioning some of the categories we have, just dropping on down. Could you read off some of the categories, Drew, for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have action rom-coms, Jane Austen adaptations, Matthew McConaughey. All right. Classics, 80s, holiday rom-coms, Cameron Diaz, young adult rom-coms. I figured that one out on the fly. Favorite couples, set in New York City, Shakespeare adaptations, directors, and 2000s.
2000s. Yeah. So we got quite a few categories to choose from. So no pressure, y'all. You got some options. Okay. So going into this, Brian, you do get first dibs. Do you want to spin or do you want to defer?
I will defer.
You want to defer? Okay. Over to you, Peggy. Oh, sorry, Douglas.
I'm going to defer as well.
And so, Peggy, last but not least, you're in for it. Okay, I'm going to go and spin that wheel for you. Let's go.
No whammies.
Classics. How do you feel about that?
That's a whammy for me.
As in a whammy no?
I feel confident in a lot more of the other wheel slices, so let's spin it again.
Did classics for you, Alex, mean you pulled them from... Okay, well, I'll just stop talking. Here we go.
All right.
I just really wanted some accents up in here. That's why I made this category. All right. Do you want to read the questions for Peggy, Drew?
I would love to. Let me just find Matthew McConaughey here. All right. Excuse me. Your first question in the category of Matthew McConaughey, Peggy, is in Wedding Planner, what board game does Mary play competitively with her family that she brags about to Steve?
She plays Scrabble at the community center. Final answer.
For
For 2 big points. Nice. I like the confidence. Here we go. Next question here in Matthew McConaughey. In what year was Failure to Launch released in theaters? In what year was Failure to Launch released in theaters?
This is a tough one. This is like one of those movies where I was like, I was a struggle bus to watch.
Yeah, and going to multiple choice is always tough on these types of questions because usually just
It's
give you a
gonna
bunch of
be-
years
yeah.
and sequence.
I know the general area, but I'm going to play it safe. Multiple choice.
Multiple choice. All right, here we go. A, 2004. B, 2006. C, 2007. Or D, 2003.
Ten seconds.
I'm going to go with 06. Final answer.
And for a big 1 point, Peggy.
Well done.
Nice. Very nice.
Trying to
Here
place
we
it with Sex in the City 2.
There you go. Yep, that's what you got to do. Place. Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Matthew McConaughey, question number 3. What actress plays Michelle, Andy's friend that inspires her to write an article about purposefully getting dumped and how to lose a guy in 10 days?
That would be the infinitely talented Catherine Hahn. Final answer.
That is correct for 2 more big points. 5 points moving through this Matthew McConaughey category with her very last question, which is Matthew McConaughey, obviously, question number 4. Who directed Fool's Gold? Deep. This is a deep cut. This is a deep cut.
This is a rough one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? It's an exhibition match. I'm going to go for it. I think it's Donald Petrie. Final answer.
That is incorrect.
So we do have an option for a steal for a potential 2 points with Douglas and Brian. You do have 15 seconds to answer.
Here we go, gentlemen. Once again, Matthew McConaughey, who directed Fool's Gold?
And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pens down. Answers, please, starting with you, Doug. No guess? Okay. And what about you, Brian?
I don't know. We got to guess something. John Turtletop?
So Donald Petrie was actually one of the multiple choice answers, but the correct answer was Andy Tennant.
Now that's just action through behavior right there, Peggy.
That's beautiful. Peggy, are you in the Army? You should be in the Army. I feel like you would fit in real well in the Action Army, but that's neither here nor there. A very, very strong showing in the Matthew McConaughey category. Really nice pull there on the 2006. It was really smart to go to multiple choice, give yourself extra time to place where Matthew McConaughey was in his career. And that Fool's Gold miss was a big, deep cut.
I should have known it, though. I know Andy Tennant. I did. Sorry, I don't want to give away further answers that could be asked.
No, please do. Keep going.
All right. Well, your score is definitely nothing to scoff at. You definitely did really great. And again, there's options for potential steals as well going into with Brian. Now, back to Brian. Do you want to spin or would you rather defer?
Go to him.
Douglas? Okay. Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Wheels keep spinning. Wheels keep spinning. Do, 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 do. Actors and actresses seems to be it today.
That bitch. Oh, is that so funny or is that just mean now?
I mouthed that when you said the categories.
What? I don't understand the joke. Why is she considered a bitch?
I'll be 100% honest.
Scott Mans.
No idea why Scott Mans made the joke. I know it's in relation
It's
to him.
because it
been
screwed
so
him in the match, I think, against ETC.
Right. That sounds right. That sounds correct.
Are you gonna spin again?
There's a lot there. You know what? It's an exhibition match. Let's have fun. Spin again.
Spin again. All right.
Ooh,
And I
okay.
should have stayed.
Yeah, this is
I'm not gonna lie.
This
I'm
is
a tough category.
This is gonna be working my way through.
I'll be honest. This feels like an IG slice being on the regular wheel, which I'm totally okay with. But this is this could be really tough here.
I think Jane Austen should be an IG slice next year, actually.
I don't see why it's not. Okay, I found so many movies. There are like 40 movies. Okay.
You're making Doug nervous. You're making Doug nervous.
No, I'm just gonna have fun. I'm gonna work my way through it.
There's so many different versions. Just saying. Okay.
Should have just stayed.
Regardless, we're gonna go into it. Jane Austen adaptation. So let me go ahead and bring it up in here. Okay. Whammy. Where you at? Where you at?
You got this, Doug.
There it goes. Okay, for 2 points, Jane Austen adaptations. Game of Thrones actors Lena Headey, and Charles Dance co-star in what Jane Austen adaptation?
Actually, I think I know this one, but multiple choice.
Is it A, Love and Friendship, B, Pride and Prejudice, C, Austenland, or D, Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies? Do you like Jane Austen, Drew?
You know, I am I'm I think there's a couple gems, maybe.
I'm gonna go with C.
C, and so you went with Austenland. That would be incorrect. So we do have a potential steal of 1 point for Peggy and Brian. You do get 10 seconds to answer. Joel, I don't know if you need. Oh, you already good to go.
Right.
Okay. Peggy,
I guess D.
Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, and Brian.
Yep, D, Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies.
That would be correct for 1 point, both of you guys. Well done.
Can I challenge that? Because
Please
that's
do.
technically not a Jane Austen adaptation.
Yes, it is.
You're talking about from her regular book of Pride and Prejudice. That was a graphic
It's an
novel, not by
adaptation,
her.
buddy.
It was not by her.
It's an adaptation of it, though.
I'm just letting you know that's not an adaptation from Jane Austen.
I will fight you on this to the death, Cassel.
You can, but I'm just letting you know it's not an
Regardless.
adaptation from. Okay.
Well, don't matter because I wrote the question so I can determine it whether or not. So moving on to the next one, though. For question number 2, in 1996's Emma, who played Mr. Elton, a local minister who marries a socialite after being rejected by Emma?
Multiple choice.
Multiple choice. Is it A, Eric McCormick, B, Mandy Patinkin, thank you, C, Alan Cumming, or D, Edward Norton?
Can I get those choices again? I'm sorry, I didn't miss the first one.
Yeah, absolutely. Is it A, Eric McCormick, B, Mandy Patinkin, C, Alan Cumming, or D, Edward Norton?
I'm gonna guess Mandy Patinkin.
That would be incorrect for a potential steal of 1 point with Peggy and Brian. Okay, starting, you guys have your answers ready. Okay, starting with you, Brian.
Alan Cumming?
And Peggy.
C, Alan Cumming.
That would be correct for 1 point apiece. Well done. Okay. All right, for question number 3 in Jane Austen adaptations, what award-winning actor played Mr. Darcy in 1940's Pride and Prejudice?
Multiple choice.
Is it A, Laurence Olivier, B, Robert Taylor, C, Melville Cooper, or D, Tyrone Power?
A.
A, Laurence Olivier. That would be correct for 1 point. And final question for the Jane Austen adaptations. Okay. And from Plata to Nada, what city do sisters Nora and Mary Dominguez move to after being left penniless when their father dies suddenly?
Multiple choice.
Is it A, Brooklyn, B, Miami, C, Los Angeles, or D, Houston. Dun, 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 dun.
This is a tough category.
Los Angeles.
If you do not-
That would be correct for 1 point. Well done. Those are really tough questions for sure.
No, I mean the whole category. Like I said, it's like an ID slice on a regular wheel. If you don't know Jane Austen, you don't love her movies, you know, and it always sucks when a challenge doesn't go your way. But sometimes that's just the way the game goes. You have to bounce back. It's good that he got that point at the very end, and
Yeah.
you know, tough category. I don't know if I would have gotten any of those questions right. I know the first one. I love Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies for some reason.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know why either. It's just something is so fun about it. It's just like I like the little conversation. She's like, "Oh my gosh, you learned kung fu in China."
I also love Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer. So maybe I just love really bad adaptations of really weird historic. Anyway, this is not about me.
It's a fun time though, regardless. Okay, so that means last but not least, Brian.
I'm going to defer to Andrew.
All right, here we go. I'm ready to go.
You have to be ready at all times.
Yeah, coach. Put me in.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and bring it up right here. Oh,
I will take that.
you will take it.
Okay.
Okay.
This is wide, but you know these movies have all been pretty popular, so this could be a strong category for Brian here.
Potentially, for sure.
All right, so moving here into Shakespeare adaptations. Question number 1. In 10 Things I Hate About You, what kind of doctor is Kat and Bianca's dad? Dr. Walter Stratford.
Oh my gosh.
Love this movie.
So
Absolutely adore this movie from day one.
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea, but I'm not certain, so let's go multiple choice.
All right, multiple choice. Here for Shakespeare adaptations, we have a psychiatrist, a pediatrician, a gynecologist, or a neurosurgeon. Sorry, I didn't say the letters.
Okay, you got 5 seconds.
Let's say gynecologist.
That is correct for 1 point. Nice. Question number 2 in Shakespeare adaptations. What 90s teen star plays the princess in Kenneth Branagh's adaptation of Love's Labor Lost?
If I'm thinking of the right character, 90s teen star, I'm going to say Alicia Silverstone, Final Enter.
That is correct for 2 points.
I didn't know this movie existed until like a month ago.
It's not the best one.
I mean, I thought it was a fine.
I wanted to like it so bad, but it's not all that great.
I liked that it was kind of like made into, it almost has like a very much like a play setup, which I can appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, I think I'm with the other 99% on this one. I do not know this movie. Here we go. Shakespeare adaptations. Question number 3. In She's the Man, Viola's academic rival, Malcolm, has an unusual pet that he uses to scare Viola and Duke. What kind of pet is it?
Oh, I knew this before too. Let's go multiple choice just to be safe.
Is it A, a tarantula, B, an iguana,
Oh, sorry.
C, a snake, or D, a scorpion?
Ooh, would you have any of those as pets, Drew?
I no, I wouldn't. I would maybe have an iguana, but everything else in there I'm just not down for. What about you?
I would love to have an iguana.
Okay.
I love the idea that you can like cut off one of its limbs and it would grow back.
Well, you shouldn't do that to your pet.
Still, I mean, hypothetically, it's made to be like evolutionarily superior. And
Yeah.
5, 4.
I was ready to answer as soon as you said it. I don't know for sure. I'm gonna say tarantula.
That is correct for 1 more point here. Moving really well through this category with 2 great multiple choice guesses. And finally, your last question in Shakespeare adaptations is in 2012's Much Ado About Nothing, which MCU actor plays Leonato?
Leonato.
Did you like this film, Alex?
I like the story behind it. Apparently, it was made as like during the honeymoon of the director and his wife. his wife as like a wedding present was like, hey, instead of like going to like Cancun or something, you want to make a movie? I'm gonna invite a whole bunch of your friends. We're gonna do it at the house. And he was like, yeah.
Sounds nice. Sounds nice.
Right?
To just
Imagine having
that.
that kind of really partner. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember which character Leonardo is. I'm going on a limb and say Clark Gregg.
For 2 big points there.
Solid.
Nice. Very, very nice pool. Taking your time.
Directed
Narrow
by
it down. And that was a huge round 2 for Brian, who was already in the lead. And he got some nice steals there from Jane Austen.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, just kind of touch base with some of the points we have here. We have going into it, we have Brian in the lead with 13 points, Doug with 6 points, and Peggy with 10 points. So it's we got a little bit of points difference here. However, yeah, these were like really tough questions across the board. Yeah, definitely.
Thing is that you can still move into round 3. I mean, yes, you have to have a very, very strong round 3, but you're not eliminated yet. And you never know what categories your opponents are going to pull. You never know how hard those questions really can be, because sometimes, in round or the first 2-point question is a context question, which can be impossible for so many people, but very easy for some. So you're never out of it, even being this far back. And Brian, again, showing a lot of strength there in rounds 1 and 2. He got the steals. He got a perfect round, essentially. And he had the strongest round 1. So, Peggy also creepily hanging out there in the back, or not creeping up in the back, not creepily hanging out. Sorry, Peggy. That's not what I was trying to say.
They can be both. They can be both.
She's in a nice position because, Doug did have that really rough round 2.
Yeah. Well, regardless, going into this this third and final round, we have a whole bunch of categories. I had so much fun putting together. Okay. Now, that being said, y'all have to pick some points. Sorry, pick some numbers. Okay. So, Brian, you're in the lead, so you pick 3 numbers.
What's the range?
Oh, of course. Sorry. I would have to pull it up once. I can't remember what the range is. It is 1 through 9, and you guys can actually repeat the numbers if you like.
Okay. I will go 815.
815?
Yes.
815. Okay. Moving on to you, Peggy.
I will go 246.
246. And Doug.
738.
738. Okay. All right. Now, Doug, you do have doing a little bit of catching up to do, so we do have to start with you. Okay. All right. Joe, do you want to read some of the questions first?
Yeah. So in category 8, for question 1 here, we have.
He's category 7.
I got 7.
Oh, yeah. So he had 7, 3, and 8.
Oh, I'm sorry. Category 7. Excuse me. Whew, that was close. That was really close. Category 7, which is love and sports. Peter and Bobby Farrelly co-directed which sports rom-com? I have seen this film.
There are many of films I have seen.
Fever Pitch?
That is correct.
For 2 points.
Nice pull there
cool.
from Douglas. Really nice pull.
Well done. That was hard. Yeah.
That's a tough
I would have
question.
not had it. That was really solid.
Do not go gently into the night.
Okay.
All right, so 7-1, is that correct?
3.
3.
Moving on. Yeah. Now he chose category number 3 for 3 points.
Okay. Category 3 for 3 points. You want me to do this? You got this.
I can do it. Okay. For 3 points, the category is 90s movies. 90s movies. And She's All That. What Oscar winner plays Zach's little sister that gives him advice on meeting Lainey? Gotta love a makeover story.
Yeah, definitely. This is a tricky question. I really, really like this question.
A lot of people forget like some of these like really small roles that that are in some of these 90s rom-coms for sure that end up becoming huge stars or worse major stars. And 5.
Repeat the question.
For his final repeat.
Final one. And the category is 90s for 3 points. And She's All That. Which Oscar winner plays Zach's little sister that gives him advice on meeting Lainey? I just love, like, in this movie, like, it's a makeover story, but she's already, like, a super attractive woman. She's just wearing glasses.
Yep, and her hair's up.
Off, and she, like, flips her hair and suddenly...
Anna Paquin?
Correct. For 3
That is correct. Wow, Douglas.
That was
Cassel.
solid. Well done there. That was a serious pull.
Picked up 5 points already here in round 3. So his final question is in category 8.
Do we go to Peggy since Doug passed her up?
Oh yeah. We got to
Unmute
live
myself.
scoreboard.
Okay, now we have to go on to Peggy. Peggy,
Give Douglas a moment to breathe, you know.
Jumping jacks?
No, that would make my heart race further.
Like, get yourself pumped up.
I'm impressed. Those are some really nice pulls there.
Okay, so we're going to move on to Peggy, and you chose the numbers 2, 4, and 6, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so we are going to be moving on to category 2. The category is for 2 points. The category is romance. In I Love You Man, which famous director plays Barry, Zoe's friend that invites him to a guy's night only to puke all over him later that evening?
Oh, Jon Favreau.
Correct for 2 points.
That is correct.
Happy.
All right. So we are going to number 4, category 4, which is Woody Allen.
Back to Doug.
Back to me.
Oh, God damn it. I just need to shut
No, she passed him up. 12 to 11. So.
All good.
So back to category 8.
Yep, you're right now.
All right, we got this. We practiced this. Here we go.
We're professionals.
Yes, we are. We're professionals. Category 8, ensemble rom-coms is the category for your question. In Crazy Stupid Love, what does Jacob have in his garage?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you just say the for? Say it's. Okay, you know what? Never mind. I'm getting my thing.
Question.
Sorry, I apologize. Go ahead. Sorry.
Are we good? We're good?
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. All right, good. Here we go. Category for your question is ensemble rom-coms. In Crazy Stupid Love, what does Jacob have in his garage that he regrets purchasing through QVC?
This is such a cute movie, though.
I love this movie. People forget about this movie. It's so damn good.
Everyone's in it. So many people are in it. I mean, like.
Oh yeah.
I mean, ridiculous.
And the ability to have Steve Carell and Ryan Gosling be in scenes together, it just makes me just happy. It just makes me real happy.
I just want like a movie based on the relationship between Ryan Gosling's character and Steve Carell, like when they were at the mall. Like, I just want to see him like throw like pizza crusts inevitably the entire time. That's all I want to do. I paid money for that ticket.
I would, yes, 100%.
And 5, 4, 3.
I think I'm pulled, but armchair. Is it recliner? I mean, armchair and recliner are the same thing. Massage chair.
Hold on. I think.
Drew.
Oh man.
Okay. We're gonna take you guys down for a hot minute, and Drew and I are gonna chat about this.
Yeah,
okay?
we gotta take everyone down.
Okay.
We gotta do it.
1 second.
Whew.
Okay, Drew, you are the professional. I need your help in this. The technical answer is massage chair.
It is a massage chair, and I think based off of what he said, we heard him say armchair, or is it a recliner? Is it armchair? It's the same thing.
Yeah, and so he didn't like that's a different thing from a massage chair, but it's still a chair.
I think the thing about the chair is that it is specifically a massage chair, and that's probably why he got it off of QVC, which is probably the reason that that's in the question, in my opinion. You know, QVC is kind of a very unique place to buy stuff. So unfortunately, I think, you know, it's going to be, I don't know if he's going to challenge the question or not. I don't know if he's going to get away with the challenge. You know, that's going to have to go back to you. But with armchair and recliner being his final answers, those are not a massage chair. And that is what is written as the answer.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and bring him back in then, in that case. Okay, guys. Unfortunately, after deliberation with Drew, it is decided that it's a massage chair in particular. Now, I know you said chair. We might have been a little more lenient if you just said chair, but you ended up saying like a recliner instead.
Wait,
so,
do you see what Jake says here in the chat?
No. What? Huh? Armchair? Okay, you're right. Did he say okay?
Did you?
If you didn't hear me, I can't say anything. I said armchair, recliner, massager. They're all the same thing. But that's I'm not asking for that. I mean,
you know what? If he did say it in the bevy of things, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it in there.
Never.
In the spirit of love, give it.
It's February. It's a month of romance. Let's give him the point. It's the spirit of love.
Yeah, I mean, if he said armchair, recliner, massager, I think you got to give him the points.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. If he hadn't had said that, it's just like it reminds me of that almost that. Remember when Draco and Rocco went up against each other? The first talkie Charlie Chaplin was in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Rocco was like, and Draco was like, I challenge that. That's not a real talkie. And he's like, well, if that's not the real talkie, it would have been this answer. So it feels kind of like that a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. But I think we have to reward him the points. I really do.
Okay. Great job. For you say you got the 5 points. So you had a perfect
you had a perfect round 3, man. 10 big points to pad that score. Okay. And I'm very impressed.
No joke. Okay, so we are going to be going on to Peggy. In that case, and you chose number 4 for your 3-point question. Okay. And the category is for 3 points, Woody Allen movies. For 3 points, Midnight in Paris was nominated for 5 Oscars and won only 1. For which category did it win in?
I don't know answers. Brian would know this. I knew the last one. I think the massage chair was from Brookstone, by the way.
It's QVC, actually. I watched it as QVC.
I'm going to guess costume design.
That would be incorrect. The answer is best writing / original screenplay.
All right.
Okay. I was a little weirded out by Woody Allen romance movies just because of Woody Allen's romance.
Yeah,
that's not.
I'm going through I in preparation for this match, I went through I bought 3 top 100 movies you need to see before you die kind of thing, and Woody Allen has 5 movies on there, and I was like, still.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a good one.
For sure. Okay, and going on to your final question in your 3rd round, Peggy. Oh, sorry. Actually, Drew, this is your turn.
Is it me? All right. I just want to make sure I didn't jump ahead. I was know if we we're going to have to go to Brian. I don't want to mess up again. All right, here we go.
Yes.
So you chose you chose number 6 for your 5-point question, which is relating to the category of 70s. 70s. In The Goodbye Girl, what personal item did Elliot leave at the apartment to guarantee Lucy and Paula he will return after shooting the movie?
I watched this for the first time since middle school, and it does not age well.
Yeah. A lot of movies from back in the 60s and 70s don't age too well.
Funny how time happens.
Yeah, it's funny.
That's movies.
I watched The Searchers recently, and the Native Americans with blue eyes always freak me out. Just freak me out.
Ooh. And 5, 4, 3.
Repeat the question.
In the category of 70s, Peggy, In The Goodbye Girl, what personal item did Elliot leave at the apartment to guarantee Lucy and Paula that he'll return after shooting the movie? This is a perfect example of a 5-point question because if the integral parts of movies will have things in them that if you've seen, it just comes to you instantly. But if you haven't seen the movie, it's basically impossible.
Very classic rom-com too. Very well known. It's won several Oscars.
Yeah.
And 5.
Afraid I don't know it. I'm gonna guess a bracelet, but I think that was Philadelphia Story. But bracelet, final answer.
That is incorrect.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he left behind his guitar.
Haven't seen it. Never seen it.
Richard Dreyfuss, and they both won Oscars. Lead female and male actor won Oscars. Anyway.
So with that, where are we at? Score? What's happening right now?
I'm gonna bring up the score sheet real fast before I kind of go into Brian. Where are we at? So Doug is actually sitting at the highest, coming from being the third, going to the third round. Now he's at the highest. So that's quite a huge turnaround, with Michael at 13 points and then Peggy sitting behind just at 12 points. Drew, you know what that means?
I do, unfortunately.
Yeah. I'm so sorry to say, Peggy. Unfortunately, that means you have been knocked out. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you had a great showing today. You would have probably beaten me. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
It's all right. I had fun. Good luck, gentlemen.
All right. Well, please stay put, and we'll definitely see you soon, like after we wrap things up. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna be moving on to our final competitor, Brian.
Yeah.
Take a deep breath. Mm-hmm. Okay. So just want to reconfirm you for your final two numbers. You have 1 and 5, correct?
Well, I still didn't do 8 yet either.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry. 8, 1, and 5. Thank you for correcting me. I'm a professional as well, guys.
Interesting position for him to be in because he has to answer 2 questions correctly. No matter what, if he wants to win, being down by 3. So
yeah, you can argue this point doesn't really matter all that much, honestly.
We'll see, you want to get your 2 and your 3 right before you have to go into your 5 by yourself. So exactly. we'll see how Brian does here early on in round 3.
Yeah. Okay, and the category for category number 8. The category is ensemble rom-coms. And How to Be Single. Who plays Alice, a newly single paralegal that just arrived in New York City?
I don't know who's who in that movie. I'm going to go with Dakota Johnson.
That would be correct for 2 points.
Yeah, wow. Really, really nice pulls here.
Okay.
So this could be it. This is the big one. This is
one of these 2, right?
Yeah, one of these 2. But as I said, you want to go on your 3. What was the number again?
1.
1. Okay. So category 1 for your 3-point question is going to be Reese Witherspoon. In the film Home Again, what kind of business is Alice trying to build with the help of 3 aspiring filmmakers she meets while out for her birthday?
I love you from Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah, I was just how do you feel about Reese? I think it's hard to kind of dislike her. I feel like she's been around for so long and kind of done everything at this point.
Yeah, it's this one was also, I didn't realize it, but I think it was directed by Nancy Meyers.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, wow, surprise. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and your
wedding videos. I don't know.
That is incorrect. It is interior design.
Oh.
Wow.
Filmmakers. I was trying to figure out where that would be.
This is big. This is a huge moment here because, Doug looked like he was down and out in round 2. I'll be honest. The challenge didn't go his way. He got a horrible category on the respin. We've all been there and competing. And he really, really, he showed some heavy hitting in round 3.
Absolutely. Oh, man. I'm like, my heart rate is definitely increasing by the second. Let's just go ahead and get it over and done with. with the third and final question. And you chose number 5. And number 5 would be the category of wedding movies. Wedding movies. In Destination Wedding, what animal does Lindsay and Frank run into while taking a walk during the wedding's cocktail hour?
A mountain lion. Unless you have it as cougar.
And your winner, Brian Michaels.
Brian Michaels, yeah, that was quite a pull. Quite a pull.
When you said mountain lion, I was trying to remember. I was like, is mountain lion another name for puma, or like? Because I know it's like I know it's like called that in some places, but not others. And so I'm like,
it's just so true to the moments on the desk when you have competitors that say things that are so very close, and you're really splitting hairs. You really are, but if we're going to give massage chair to someone that lists 3 items and someone says mountain lion, even if he didn't say cougar after that, I think we still have to give him the points. And that was a hell of a match. That was amazing. That was awesome.
Oh my gosh, guys, that was fantastic. Okay, before we kind of go into our some interviews and everything, post match, let's go ahead and dive into the score just a little bit again. Holy cannoli! So Brian Michaels definitely swept away with the first round and had a little bit of trouble into the second round, but he walked away with the most points today, guaranteed at 20 versus Doug's 16 and Peggy's 12. What do you think about that score, Drew?
It's always tough when someone is, he even said it himself early in the game and even before we went live that he's very good at some of that surface knowledge stuff, knowing who's in certain movies and what year and maybe the directors. And so him having a strong round 1 was great and impressive, but you also know that that's probably where he was going to excel. Unfortunately for his other competitors, he didn't really slow down. And even in round 2, he went to multiple choice. He got those. He pulled a couple big 2-pointers to keep himself, near the lead. Even if that wasn't his favorite category, Shakespeare adaptations, like I said, those movies are really, really popular. So he at least had seen them a few times and felt like he was sitting pretty comfortable the whole time. Peggy was doing great. I'd say through all 3 rounds, but the problem is that Brian pulled ahead for so long, and then you had Doug with that insane round 3. It was really tough for her to kind of ever put herself in a position of comfort. She was always playing from behind throughout, it felt like.
Yeah, absolutely. It was just like one of those situations where once you got behind, it seemed like Doug in particular that, having that kind of comeback is like almost, I don't want to say impossible, but it's incredibly difficult. And I think I really contributed to a lot of the steals. He definitely had several steals, were a real big game changer as well for round 2. And also round 3, as the person reading them, I was writing them, I was like, this is really difficult. I feel bad. I don't know if this is too difficult. Is it not difficult enough?
I think you did the correct thing. You go for context, and those are all context questions. You have to have seen the movies, or at least, you have to have seen the movies. You can't just guess armchair, guess mountain lion, and if you do just guess them, you should probably go buy a lottery ticket because that's incredibly impressive. I think some really strongly written questions, great competitors, but rom-coms feels like inner geekdom in the sense that it's not really about who knows more, it's just who misses first, because I know that all 3 of these people probably know more about rom-coms than some of the competitors in the league.
Yeah, absolutely. It's getting I can't wait to have these guys back on again for another rom-com match, or any kind of great match overall. Actually, Peggy, speaking of which, we should probably kind of go over to starting with their interview, starting with Peggy a little bit. I'm just gonna actually take away Douglas and Brian for just a hot minute. Oh, sorry, wrong one. I'm gonna remove you from the stream for a hot minute. Hey, how do you feel about kind of wrapping things up with your first exhibition match?
I had fun. I knew going in that Doug and Brian were formidable opponents. I've seen them play. I've seen them in action. Doug had a fantastic round 3. I can't believe he swept that. But I knew when Brian hit all the technical questions that he was going to run away with it. He's just really good at that kind of thing. I'm still pissed I missed Andy Tennant, but it wouldn't have made a difference overall in the grand scheme of things. Thank you for having me. I had a great time.
Well, you're only human. Shit's going to happen every once in a while. But, regardless, I was honestly impressed. Like, you've only started training for training this kind of when it comes to movies and, and the Phalanx for a few weeks. How's been that whole process been going?
It's been good. I went through hundreds and hundreds of I just realized how deep a genre this is, really. I mean, there was a bunch of them that you asked me that I'd never seen before, and I've seen hundreds.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot.
These categories can get really, really deep.
Mm-hmm.
Early on, I know you said that you were in round 1. There was like a question that you missed, and it seemed like it was maybe because you were a little, maybe not. I don't know if it was nervous or just maybe not quite ready. Your trivia brain wasn't ready to go. Did you feel like either the lights or being on camera, or just like it took you a moment to kind of find your footing?
It took me a moment to find my footing. I froze in the first couple ones. Once I got the splash in 84, I calmed down a little bit and I kind of settled into it. But at that point, I already missed a couple.
It's always about getting that very first question right. It really is. Missing your first question can be so brutal. Even missing your second question, like missing 2 in a row in the beginning, feels like it's game over, even though you can still get 6 points in round 1.
Mm-hmm.
So I commend you for coming back the way that you did.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Peggy. And also, before we kind of move on to our next competitor, where can we reach you? Where can we see what you're doing, and also what you're doing tomorrow?
Well, I am at Peggy B Ball across all platforms. Mm-hmm. You can see me hosting my own show. It's called Fantasy Film Fights, where we take random film topics and we draft them fantasy style. Those are on Wednesdays before Call to Action Schmobates. We'll be on Schmobates tomorrow.
I see you. I see what you're trying to do. Trying to take my debate show. Just kidding. It's but it's like I also love fights in every single way. It's so much fun. It makes it interesting. All right, awesome. But you are going to be on Schmobates tomorrow, so I can't wait to see even more of you and make some really solid arguments. Thank you so much, Peggy. And we'll be inviting on our next competitor.
What's up, guys?
How you feeling?
I'm feeling all right. I mean, what can you do? You do everything that you can, and then it's in another player's hand at that point.
Absolutely. Well, I would have to say I love that you made that challenge. People don't challenge enough, I feel like, and I really appreciate it. It really kind of got me thinking about some of the categories that I actually put together, and I was like, wait, should I not? For sure.
It's important to make sure you keep the game honest, and that is a tough question. It was a strong challenge. I appreciate what Alex did and the way that she responded. I think that before we go into your insane round 3, and you had a great round 1. You did. I think you had 4 points. You had 4 points coming out of round 1. So, probably not as much as you'd like, but in an exhibition match, it's going to be deep cuts even in round 1. So, can't be too upset. You're still not in last place. How did you feel when you respun Jane Austen, man?
I was like, I should have just stayed with Cameron Diaz.
Could have stuck with the first.
I was hoping for 2000s. I was like, come on, 2000s and 90s. I got that, no problem. Jane Austen adaptation. I was like, come on. I know maybe 2, Sense and Sensibility and Pride and Prejudice. Those are the only 2 I know. And I was like, I'm getting maybe a point out of this match. I'm just going to work through it.
You had several really great steals though, and Laurence Olivier from I can't remember which question it was, but it was regarding the 1940s adaptation of Pride and Prejudice. I mean, it's still a great pull, or was it a guess? Would you say
that is completely a Makuga? It's completely a Makuga. This entire second round was completely a Makuga. So I learned from players.
Well, you look pretty down and out, man. You look like every question was kind of like a punch to the gut. You went to multiple choice really, really quickly, and I got to tell you, you should take a little bit longer before you just check right to multiple choice. I mean, even if you think you don't know it, you might be able to deduce it in round 2. It's not the same as like a 5-point question where you can't just deduce it if you don't know it. Take a little bit longer, but I'll be honest, it looked like you were almost giving up, but then we went into round 3 and it was just insane, man. That was a glory run that you went on there. All 3 of those polls were incredibly impressive. Talk to us about going through those questions, one by one.
The fever pitch, it's got to be one of my favorite answers because I love that movie. And then it's like, which one did they do? I wanted to say, originally I was going to say Summer Catch. I was like, no, that's not right. That's not right.
I think I did that in a match once. I think I got those two mixed up in a match.
Yeah, that was I think that was actually the 5-point question for that category, I think, from Summer Catch.
Yeah, but I was like, no, it's got to be Fever Pitch. That one's more of a mainstream, was more popular. I was like, it's got to be Fever Pitch. The 3-point, I don't know where I pulled that from. I pulled that like out of my butt. I was like, who is it? Who is it? And I was like, who was that before she was Rogue? And I was like, that was before she was Rogue. Anna Paquin. I was like thinking. The fifth one's so hard because unless you know it's specifically a massage chair, it's like it's sitting there and dialogue sometimes gets messed up in my head, and I was like, armchair, a chair, an armchair.
So you knew it was.
I remember the scene where she's like, "Oh, I hate it." Remember with Emma Stone, she's like sitting there.
Yeah.
I remember.
It's the worst.
That is an interesting point of having more scenes about it. But so you did remember specifically seeing the chair. You just couldn't remember what was special about it.
I couldn't remember what was special about it. I was like, what is special about this? It's an armchair, massager, recliner. I mean, they're all kind of. I mean, it's actually an added bonus. They're technically armchairs, recliners, and massagers, like less upgrade for an armchair that you can go.
Either way, it would have felt really because we weren't going to not give it to you again. You were going to lose 2, not essentially. You didn't challenge the 5-point question, but you were going to lose 2 controversial moments essentially, and it felt pretty bad. But your boy Jake Iacovetta and also our boy Jake Iacovetta, who's running the scoreboard, he said he heard you say massage chair or massager in the chat, and. I mean, 10 points, man. That was, bravo to you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. No, just thank you. Like I had fun. I mean, the second round got me down definitely, but like to bounce back and be able to pull that out just felt good.
Happens to everyone, man. It happens to absolutely everyone.
And not to mention, I think there's a lot to learn from matches like these. I mean, competitors are never defined by just their wins. They're defined more so by their losses and how they kind of come back from those and how they come back from those moments where they're not doing so great and everything it may be. But I think, just like how Bateman, he had a little combo with Karloff and he's like, hey, every time you feel like you're about to like rush into it, take a drink of water. And that kind of helped him like slow down his mind a little bit so he wouldn't like jump into an answer. So I mean, kind of going into it, it's pretty awesome to see. But also, where can we find you, Doug? I know you're everywhere in the fan leagues and everything.
Not so much. I pulled back a little bit. I mean, I am playing in the fan leagues again this year, and it's going to be a lot of fun. This year, I'm determined to work on myself more and more so I can end up with a belt. That's what I want.
I like those goals.
So
it's always good to go for the belt.
And then just, of course, follow me on Twitter at Douglas_Cassel because I'm trying to build up a show on Take 3 where I interview Schmodown guests, but not in a normal interview set. We take a movie, we talk about it, like 1 to 3 movies. We talk about it as a panel. I get to know you better. The audience gets to know you better. And we get to have a little fun and just have a conversation about the movies and the things that we kind of love. But I don't want to take people's genres that they're known for. I want to go outside it so I can pick their brain.
That's always fun.
Sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you so much, Douglas. We're going to see you around inevitably. That's for sure. And going on to our winner, last but certainly not least, obviously. Oh, sorry. Wrong one. I keep going up there. It keeps going. It keeps going.
I don't know what screen to fit into.
There it comes.
I'm so dizzy right now.
Sorry about that. How do you feel? You won. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm happy to come out with a win. At the end, got a little sketchy. Wasn't sure if Doug was going to stage that comeback. Once you gave him that 5-pointer after he revised his answer, and I was a little worried, but ended up coming out at the end. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these
that
were
was
definitely not easy questions. That's for sure.
I mean,
Go ahead, Drew. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say you were on such a great run through the entire game, and it didn't really seem like anyone was gonna kind of hold a candle to you until that crazy round 3. There's obviously a lot of points to be had, and it can be really tough if you get some bad categories for yourself. But you had great steals in round 2. You did exactly what you said you were going to do in round 1, which was come out with those type of surface level questions. How did you feel knowing that you had to hit your 5-pointer before the question was asked, before you heard the genre? It's crazy how
I was
all the
worried
work you
even
could
after
do
they
was
read the genre. It's I mean, I really think round 1 is so important because coming out of there with a lead, coming out of there with control, because like there's in round 2 there's some that I probably I would have gotten on 2 points if I got on the gut. But the reason I usually defer is because then I'm in a position where I know if I can afford to go to multiple choice or not.
Yeah.
So round 2 I did that, but maybe one too many times because it came close in the end. And that round 5, when I went into that 5-point question, I was really uncertain. Once I heard Destination, I was pretty confident because I watched the movie a couple times. I actually really enjoyed that movie. And so I was confident in my answer. Actually, while you guys were interviewing, I Googled to make sure because I don't want to take a win I don't deserve. Mountain lion, cougar, and puma are all 3 the same animal, just so you know. According to the San Diego Zoo.
I was looking through it, and I was like, I remember putting together some of the audition questions, and there was like one of them. It was like when talking about bringing back baby, and the answer is technically leopard. But then I Googled leopard because someone answered. Said something else, and technically the only difference is that like in certain parts of the world it's just it's technically a separate, it's like the same thing, but it's just like more, it's just bigger. Like it's like a bigger version of it. But
yeah, I just wanted to make sure my answer was right because I don't want to take a win I don't deserve. So especially with an exhibition match like this. So.
Regardless of the varietal of cat, it was clear that you saw the movie and it was clear you knew what you were talking about, and it's also pretty clear you deserved the win throughout. There was obviously very strong competitors going up against you. I was being honest when I said that you guys probably know a lot more about rom-coms than a ton of competitors that are in the Schmodown.
And I like how nonchalant he is about it. He's like, I kind of watch them sometimes,
Yeah.
I watch them a lot. I just don't. It's not my strength. Let's put it that way.
All right.
Well, maybe some other competitors will like to contradict you in that case that are like watching this. All right. But yeah, it was fantastic. I can't wait to, see you in other exhibition matches where you're definitely not a pro at. Yeah. Like Corey, like I know one of the guys in my faction, Corey Quinto, he's like, I've seen maybe like only a handful of classic horror movies, but then he won the exhibition match. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
I just feel like that's
Still even try.
Yeah.
Like, how are you casually bringing this up? That Charlize Theron was in like Children of the Corn 4.
What's the end game for you with trivia, Brian?
With me? Oh, well, obviously I'd like to, kind of reign on top. Who knows? Someday, maybe get the Schmodown call. Who knows? I mean, they just drafted James White out of the fan leagues. I beat him twice in team matches and once in singles, so I don't know why he's there, but that's just James. I like the guy. No, I'm just kidding. I love the guy. More power to him. I hope he has great success there. But I'm just saying, even if you win there, you still got my losses on your record. So
I also want to drop that little nugget of knowledge where I think you should probably start handing out business cards for Dan Merle impersonator as well.
Yeah,
should I?
Oh, you have a career, at least in that. You could go take pictures afterwards when the events are over.
Just like keep the thing down and be like, just hang around Mara a lot.
As long as I can charge for him, make some money on it. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I really just enjoy having fun here in the fan leagues. I play in several different leagues. I'm on a team with my friend Joseph Olivas, Wild Stallions. We're currently reigning champions in Full Metal Trivia. So, but really, in the end, this is just a lot of fun for me. So I just like competing.
Great.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Brian. Thanks again. You did fantastic. Well, all our competitors did fantastic today. But for future reference, where can we reach you?
You can reach me just under Facebook under my name, Brian Michaels. If you're on Letterboxd, follow me. I'm under Cinemaphile. Other than that, I'm, like I said, all over the fan leagues playing. I'm also a editor, contributing writer over at Multiplex Movie Warzone. That's about it.
All right. Well, yeah, thank you again. We're definitely going to see you in the future. No doubt about that.
Yeah.
And
thanks.
yeah, we'll talk to you here in a bit, okay?
All right.
All right, Drew, that wraps it up. We're done. You survived
awesome.
your first exhibition match. How you feeling?
I feel good. That was a blast.
Energized?
Yeah. I mean, I've been studying a lot. You know, people don't think I study, but I do study. But I've been studying even more lately. So this was fun. It was really, really cool to see them all compete, and they knew a lot. They knew a lot about these movies, and there was some very deep cuts that you wrote. Wow, I can speak. That you roted. Those were some great questions that you wrote, like I said at the beginning of the show, and I was very impressed by their wealth of knowledge.
Do you feel like any of these? Do you feel like these competitors could definitely be lined up against some legit Schmodown competitors as well? Do you feel like they would be run alongside you and Rachel Silvestrini and Janine that are mega well known when it comes to rom-com knowledge?
I mean, I think that if you want to come to the Schmodown, I want to see character. It's all about character. We're getting bigger. Skybound is in the league, and if the Schmodown and Skybound are a thing now, if we want it to grow, you have to have character on top of your movie knowledge. Movie knowledge is a given, but you have to be able to bring a character. So if someone's going to come into the league, they need to. In my opinion, I think that if every new person that comes into the league is going to know a lot about movies. You have to, just like at movie trivia night at a bar. But how many of those people do you want to put on camera for hundreds of thousands of people to watch? That's what I care about. That's what I think makes the Schmodown grow. So I think that these guys clearly showed all of us that they have an incredible wealth of knowledge, and rom-coms could definitely hold their weight with people in the Schmodown. But got to bring some character.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying they didn't have it. I'm just saying to come to the show.
We're looking for character.
Yes.
No, just kidding. All right. Well, guys, everyone did fantastic across the board. I saw that so much of you guys really hung out in the chat. We really appreciate it. You guys have been so amazing being with us as long as you guys did. We really appreciate it. And Drew, I mean, complete badass overall. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and doing this match. I know you don't have to, so I appreciate it.
No, thanks for having me. I really appreciate you thinking of me.
Oh, sorry. Where can we reach you in the future as well?
You can reach me at Andrew Ghai, AndrewGhai. You can find me on the internet, and then check out Action Industries. But
he's a really hard guy to find on Twitter.
It's tough.
All right, awesome. And also, just saying, he's part of Action Industries, and be like the cool kids like myself and subscribe to Action Industries on Patreon, where we do a lot of parties and stuff, and we hang out. And
Join the army.
Join the army. Join the Action Army. It's all about passion for your favorite competitors.
It is.
But yeah, I am Alex Mack, part of the Call to Action crew here, and every week I host Schmobates. It's all down a bag of chips. It's a fun time. Tomorrow I have I try very hard on it. Tomorrow I'm actually having Peggy on as one of our competitors, as well as Jeremiah Morris. It's going to be so amazing. Cannot wait. And we're going to be doing a lot of, Jeremiah, whatever. But yeah, it's going to be so much fun. So again, guys, thank you again. Please like and subscribe to this, and check us out on Twitter and Facebook. We have a whole bunch of stuff going on, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you again.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. Bye.